Call this meeting of the Shorewood Village Board of Trustees to order at 7:40 p.m. All trustees are present except for trustee Zolik, who's excused, which is being properly noticed. Thank you. Before we get started tonight, I'll take one item off the agenda, and that is the introduction of Larry Hart, our new interim village manager. Welcome on board.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's an honor and pleasure to be here.
Larry comes to us as he retired as the city manager at Beloit, city of Beloit, and he just couldn't get enough of it. So we'll have him here probably for about 3 months.
That's correct.
Okay, so welcome.
Thank you.
First item on the agenda is consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda?
I move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the consent agenda stated, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Takes us to item 6. Is there a motion to approve the May 1st, 2017 village board minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
I have a few.
Okay. Trustee Rosie?
Under 5.4B, back of the page, 4 sentences above 4C. The motion was amended to add the condition that the wheels must be removed within the same width as the facade, and just say to comply with council policy.
Everybody's okay with that? Okay. Go on.
Under, I think it's 4. When it talks about the ruckus special privilege, the last paragraph, it says that with the condition that the village receive a certificate of insurance from the Benji sign owner, because we did have a certificate of insurance from the other operators. So just adding from the, let's say, Benji sign owner or the monument sign owner, specifying who the insurance, who we're asking insurance
On item 5,
Wait, are we done with that?
oh, are we done?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So this says certificate of insurance naming the village as an addition for the piece of property that contains the Benji sign in dollars. So
It would read, seconded by trustee Rozak to approve the special privilege application for hardscape items within the public right-of-way at Ruckus Business 4144 North Oakland Avenue, with the condition that the village receive a certificate of insurance from the Benji sign owner, naming the village as an additional insurer. We had an insurance that it wasn't from the actual owner of that sign. But doesn't it?
Benji, so we'd strike for the piece of property that can, we'd just say for the Benji sign in dollars.
Receive a certificate of insurance from the Benji sign owner, naming the village as an additional insured for the piece of the property, blah, blah, blah. So you're
Okay.
just inserting 1, 2 pilots.
Okay. Okay, all right. You have any more, trustee Rosie?
And just one more. Under, this is 9, 1. When we're talking about permits for Atwater, this is the board discussed concerns about the amount of the proposed fees, general concerns about the use of the beach, and the need to look at both of the issues together before approving. Those were the two concerns. So we'll be adding, and the need to look at both of the issues together before approving. I think that was the biggest, that was actually the biggest one from most of our time coming. That's it.
Everybody okay? All right, got it?
I'm not sure where you want me to insert it, sorry. Under number one, consideration of resolution, so second sentence, the board discussed concerns about the amount of the proposed fees, I would take out any more, and just say general concerns about the use of the beach, and the need to look at both of the issues.
Under,
Trustee Menta?
under number 5, 4B, items removed from the consent agenda, the third paragraph. Richard Kuhn, property owner in the 4400 block of North Oakland, stated that he and his business tenants had substantial losses, not losses, since the bus stop was installed. And reducing the parking even further would cause him to lose tenants and then have to increase rents. But I believe he said he would have to decrease rents, not increase his rents. He's here. I think it was decrease, not increase, so I just wanted to make that clear. And then on the same item, fifth from the bottom, okay, so where it says the board discussed the Vision 2025 plan and how parklets fit with plan, business owners should the village, if there are issues with parking, I presume that means should contact the village? Okay. That's all.
Anybody else? Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes with changes as noted here, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Next item on the agenda is for citizens to be heard. This item is for matters that are not on this evening's agenda. Discussion may follow comment on non-agenda items, or discussion and action may come at future meetings. Is there anybody who wishes to be heard on non-agenda items this evening? Yes, sir.
My name's Ron Clark, and I live at 3600 North Morris Boulevard. I had some correspondence with a couple of trustees. I'm just very concerned about it. The issue I'm having is morning, evening, and afternoon rush hour traffic that comes through North Morris Boulevard, basically just in an attempt to avoid the stoplights on Oakland and Capitol. Just the sheer volume of cars coming through this residential street is one issue. The next is that the majority of these people just don't stop at the stop signs and don't really go the speed limit from what I can tell, because they use this street as like a shortcut. So in the correspondence, I've heard a couple of things that might be coming up soon that I just kind of wanted to kind of air this out. There's a thing that I've heard about a Safe Kid grant that the village got for some money to kind of put into kind of battle these kind of things that are happening in terms of traffic flow from Capitol Drive. Just from what I've heard, it sounds like it's going to be centered around Shorewood High School. That's going to be putting in maybe some lights or some kind of way to try to make traffic slow down and whatnot. So, I mean, I think that's great, and I think you should do that. But what I'm concerned about now is everyone's just going to keep coming through Morris now because they're just going to want to avoid that altogether in the commute. So if they're forced to slow down on the Oakland and Capitol, they're just going to take a little shortcut that connects the two streets. So again, my issue is that, you know, when I back out of my driveway, I'm literally in between two stop signs. So if I back out of my driveway, I always wait for all the traffic to completely clear because no one ever stops at the stop sign going around my driveway. So that's one thing. I mean, my wife's pregnant. She's going to be having a kid in October. Definitely not comfortable having a little kid running around outside. It's right across the street from the park. I mean, you have the middle school that's 2 blocks down from my house. I just think that you really need to start paying attention to that street alone just because of the noise, the traffic, the drivers blowing stop signs and speeding, all those things are just making it really dangerous. And I don't think that I've heard any kind of ideas or solutions that are gonna remedy that situation. I mean, maybe other areas of the village, but you really need to pay attention to that street. And if the Safe Kids thing does go through, I mean, just my idea of when I think about this, the only thing I think that would prevent any of this stuff is putting in speed humps on Morris. Make people go the speed limit, make them go 25, and then make them stop at the stop sign. So that's pretty much all I wanted to come here for, and I heard maybe on June 1st, you guys are gonna be discussing that Safe Kids thing, so I'll come back to that too, but just wanted to, you guys have that out there.
Thank you.
Is the stop sign you're talking about the one that gets into Hubbard Park there?
Well, there's a stop sign, that comes off, that basically connects the roundabout from Menlo that turns into Morris, so there's a stop sign there, but maybe the stop sign's right in front of the edge of my driveway, but then another 10 feet in front of that's an actual crosswalk, so I think it's just confusing for drivers because if they don't stop at the stop sign, they kind of might slow down at the crosswalk, because then they're like, oh, maybe I should be doing something here, but, I mean, then the other one is like on a little island that it's kind of like a T intersection, but not really. So if you're coming up the hill from Hubbard Park, there's a stop sign there, and then for the people coming from East Capitol onto Menlo, so.
Trustee Rose?
I had correspondence with you through email, I think we succeeded Tyler and the chief. You mentioned that the university actually put a notice out to the bus drivers to slow
Yeah.
down and to not use Morris.
Right, because the boss, there's like the UWM boss, I mean, that's just an example of businesses that just, it's not residents, it's like UWM boss, and they have like a utility or some kind of storage that's off of East Capitol somewhere. I mean, you see those things literally 50, 60 times a day, the vehicles coming through there morning, noon, and night. So, I mean, it's just like, why can't you just go on Oakland and Capitol? If I didn't buy a house on Oakland Avenue, I bought a house on a residential street to avoid traffic, so, I mean, that's, and I've spoken to numerous neighbors of mine, and, it's just kind of like a battle they've given up on. Some of my neighbors have lived there since the 80s, and, it's just like nothing's ever seems to be done, so, I just don't know if it's really not something you guys are aware of, but I think it's a big problem.
And why I asked that is maybe since the university, maybe we're just in a manager's memo or some sort of communication reminding people that residential street is from here.
Right. Yeah, they got back to me and said that they would forward it on to the utility people, which haven't changed, but boss has stopped coming through.
Just one comment I'm making, since the 80s, there has been changes made on Morris.
Oh, I believe
The
that,
stop signs,
yeah.
those stop signs weren't there back.
Right, and then, I know there were, I grew up on Edgewood and Creamer Street, so I know those stop signs have been there, and then all of a sudden they started blinking one day, so
That's right.
what's the reason why they're blinking? Because nobody stops there, so.
Thank you. So administratively, I would just like to encourage the other board members, when you receive contact emails from the residents, to forward them on to everyone, including me, the public safety chairs, since this is something that would come before my committee. It would be very nice to get this information. And so, Mr. Clark, perhaps you will forward that on to me, and we can be in contact.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for coming to the board.
One of your neighbors was at the Pen Bike Safety Committee meeting last week and made that committee aware of the issues on Morris. And I don't know, but I hope that committee will take up some review of speeds and stop signs and other things.
Is that, be June 1st, going to be like anything on that agenda for that day about the Safe Kids grant?
June 9th.
June 9th is our next meeting.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Anybody else that wants to be heard on non-agenda items this evening? Seeing none, we'll move on. Next item is proclamation. We have a couple of proclamations. First one is proclamation for National Public Works Week. I will read the proclamation in the end here. Oh yeah, there she is. Okay. Whereas public works services provided in the village of Shorewood are an integral part of our residents' everyday lives, and whereas the support and understanding of informed citizenry is vital to the efficient operation of public works programs, including sewer and water systems, park and forestry maintenance, fleet and facilities, maintenance, refuse collection, street maintenance and repair, traffic and streetlight system maintenance, and winter operations. And whereas the health, safety, and comfort of the residents of the village of Shorewood greatly depends on these facilities and services, and whereas the quality and effectiveness of these facilities, as well as their planning, design, and construction, is vitally dependent upon the efforts and skill of public works personnel, whereas the efficiency of the qualified and dedicated personnel who staff the village of Shorewood's Department of Public Works is greatly influenced by residents' attitude and understanding of the importance of their work. Now therefore, I, as president of the village, do proclaim the week of May 21st, 2017 as National Public Works Week in the village of Shorewood, and I call upon all residents and civic organizations to acquaint themselves with these issues involved in providing our public works